Today's video is sponsored by Spacer's Choice Gourmet Saltuna. Head on over to your local general store and try some today. Now available in mint. And remember, it's not the best choice, it's Spacer's Choice.
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's Choice.
So good. This is the only Halcyon board approved review of The Outer Worlds, which should tell you something. I'm indentured to them for 10 years. This is a game that I have been waiting for a long time. I had a good feeling about this game. It looked good, it sounded good, and I knew it the whole time, buddy! The people who made this game, Obsidian Entertainment, also made one of my favorite games of all time. Back in the day, Bethesda licensed the Fallout IP to Obsidian Entertainment, and they made Fallout New Vegas, which is super hot plasma good, 10 out of 10, get destroyed by a death claw simulator, super great, wow bro. Of course, this was back when Bethesda was still awesome before they yeeted themselves into the basura.
Who's laughing now?
But I gotta say, man, this game grabbed me by the tenderloins and yeah! This game lies squarely in the middle of my favorite type of game, action role-playing games. That is my groove, bro. You play as this frozen chimichanga dude who gets woken up from hypersleep, like, except more, vertical. And you get woken up by this crazy-looking old guy, and he's like,
"Oh, look who's awake. My name's Phineas. I got some problems I'm gonna need your help with. I'm a wanted criminal. I got a bunch of guys I'm trying to unfreeze. Don't ask. Can you help me out?"
The game takes place in the Halcyon colony, which is a star system that's way the heck out there, and it's owned by 10 corporations who have joined together to form the Halcyon Holding Company. And the colony is kind of in hot water right now. There are some issues under the surface, and the problems are not insignificant. In short, Halcyon needs a hero, someone to save the day, someone to right the wrongs and to bring balance, somebody to show people the latest fashion trends from Earth. And it's up to you to choose how you want to resolve it. Okay, so who wants to talk about the gameplay? Go! The Outer Worlds is a first-person game with a very nice helping of RPG elements. Like any good RPG, you spec your character out in the beginning, and as you play through the game, you develop your skills to form the character to your playstyle as you progress through the game. There's a decent character customization menu, although the whole game takes place in first person and you don't see yourself in cutscenes, so the only time you really see yourself is like when you're in the menus. The menu system is fairly intuitive, but the junk items in the game can be kind of tedious to manage, and overall, they don't really feel like they contribute to the game in any meaningful way. You can choose from 4 different difficulties ranging from
Honey bunny, go slow.
To
Baby.
the hardest difficulty is basically a survival mode like you'd see in Fallout New Vegas, where you have to maintain things like nourishment and sleep. I played it on normal, and very rarely did I find the combat to be very challenging because I have the hand-eye coordination of a cat chasing a laser pointer. The game takes you to different locations all around the Halcyon system. Each location was super well done, beautiful, very interesting, and well fleshed out. The kind of places that just make you look around like, ah! There are many types of wildlife you encounter, everything from these cute little sprats to these vicious raptidons that just charge at you like, Bleh! You can travel with up to 2 companions, and in my experience, they were actually pretty helpful in combat. Each companion also has a special, unique ability that you can command them to use in combat, which is actually pretty helpful. And you can also tell them to move to specific places, to return to you, or to engage a specific target. But if you like to play as a sneaky, stealthy character, it's probably best to travel alone because they do tend to draw attention from the enemies. They also have interesting dialogue about the world and your actions. Your companions will have little interactions with each other, although sometimes they don't react to certain situations in the way that you think they would. For example, there's this side mission which basically boils down to you collecting some information, then returning to the quest giver, and you can either tell her the truth, in which case she's happy, or you can lie to her, which results in her dying. And your companion, Parvati, despite being this cute, kind, optimistic, benevolent type of person, does not care if you send this woman to her death. You're basically shooting somebody in the face with a bazooka, and she's like,
"Listen, boss, I smell like a tire fire put out with throw up. Can you help me find some soap?"
I just shot somebody in the face with a bazooka. Okay, whatever. And that's one of my main complaints with this game, and it basically boils down to, this game's really good. I wish there was more of it. I wish that there was more dialogue. I wish that the companions had more reactions from more situations. Like, for example, with Fallout 4, if you shot an innocent person, there would be a notification that would say, Piper disliked that. If you shot enough innocent people, she would straight up turn hostile on you, like completely. I wish that this game had something like that. I mean, it's important to note this isn't a AAA studio with
Resources.
This is a much smaller studio with more limited resources, more aptly described as a AA studio, which, by the way, I love AA studios. They make some of the best games. And plus nowadays it seems like most AAA games are always trying to pry your wallet open. But being a smaller team with fewer resources, there's just not as much content in this game as I think the world really deserves. It's a really interesting world filled with humor and interesting characters and neat locations and deep lore, although I really wish that they would give you audio logs instead of a million terminal entries to read. But I remember thinking to myself several times, I wish there was more of this game. Good news is they're working on DLC. The game has a really cool style and look to it. It's very interesting and unique. The different areas and climates are beautifully done. The environments are immersive, interesting, and nicely varied. The game overall looks fantastic and has equally great music, which helps to bring the environments to life. And despite the fact that the character faces weren't animated with motion capture tech, they still look decent, although not super lifelike. But overall, this game is really groovy and has a whole lot of character. The music in the game is really good. I love the main theme of this game. It has this futuristic space exploration optimism to it that's just really good. I actually listen to it while I'm pooping. It gives me hope. There's a lot of really great humor in this game. There's a lot of funny dialogue and terminal entries. And then there's the whole aspect of everything being hyper-corporatized to an absurd degree. The company's overt disregard for their employees and their completely transparent self-interest along with all the red tape and bureaucracy, it makes for a lot of really funny moments. Like this one time when...
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you the following message from the Halcyon Holding Company.
Hello. Did you know that leaving a positive rating on the video which you're currently viewing is required by your contract as a Halcyon Holdings Company employee? That's right. It is incumbent upon each and every one of you to press the button down below denoted as like. If you wish to be exempted from pressing the like button, please visit your local Halcyon administrative office, request and fill out Form 832942B, submit that with a non-refundable processing fee of 25 bits, and within 3 to 4 business weeks you will have a response as to whether or not you are exempted from pressing the like button. And remember, leaving positive feedback and subscribing with notifications is your corporate duty. And it's like, don't eat that. The gunplay in this game is really nice. The guns feel tactile. They got that pop, pop, pop.
Gets that pop, pop, pop. Get that.
There's a lot of neat weapons in the game that you can modify and tinker and make them more powerful and add new features, which you can also do with your armor. And if you're intentional about how you spec your character and your weapons, you can end up with some pretty boss armaments with which you will have little to no difficulty removing your opponent's heads from the rest of them. And another thing that surprised me was just how good the game played out of the box. Now, your mileage may vary, but for me, I didn't have to change anything. The key bindings were good, the mouse speed was good, the volume was fine, it just was like ready to go. The game played very smoothly, I didn't have any crashes, and almost no bugs or glitches. Well, there was one.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
But I really enjoyed this game. It's like right there in that sweet spot for me. It's like Mass Effect and Fallout New Vegas had a baby, and that baby grew up to be a 9 out of 10. Please subscribe and share this video, and remember to perform your corporate mandated grooming rituals, and watch this video next.